God bless. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Reelism podcast. This is episode 3. We're going to be doing our brand new day review and talking about the other Spider-Man movies and ranking them. So, before we get into all that, though, Caleb, how are you doing? What you been up to? How's life?
Yeah, life's good. I've been watching a few movies. I've been in the gym. I've been working, saving money. I got a new apartment.
Dude,
Yeah,
let's
I
go.
live by myself.
That's
Look
sick.
at that background.
Ooh,
That's the best.
tough. Yeah.
I had like a little bit to work with, and that's the best I could come up with. But
It's kind of clean though. I can't lie to
It's
you.
a big- it's a fat poster. Like
it is.
There's not much places I could put it where it would blend with the other ones I have. But we'll figure that out on a different day. I'm still thinking about.
It matches the color scheme like really well, like that
True.
brown
Weirdly,
and white.
yeah.
It kind of looks good. I kind of like the background right now. It looks sick.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, of course.
But new apartment. I'm down like 23 pounds. I'm on this kind of aggressive cut.
Oh, dang, sick, dude.
I've been locked in, man.
Yeah, in how much time? Because that's like a lot. So like
since I moved back to South Dakota, so like May.
Dang, that's good.
Yeah, I've been on the grind a little bit.
I'm trying to start cutting because I need to cut some weight like bad. So
yeah.
Got any tips for me and the people?
Dude, straight calorie deficit.
Well, yeah.
Make sure you're getting your protein and
Yeah.
carbs. I never really watched any of those. Like I would do calorie deficit and I would lose a little bit of weight, but I'd gain it all back.
Really?
But the goal, like if you do protein and carbs, you watch that and calories. It gets boring, but it's kind of a whole change in your life. You got to just do that, and then over time, you slowly will see a lot of progress, and hopefully it sticks.
Yeah, for me, like when I lost a ton of weight, which is about like a year or two ago, I went from like 260 to 190.
Nice, dude.
The biggest thing I did, and I did it I did it in like a period of like 6 months. Like it wasn't like I had a 2-month period where I lost 30 pounds. But the biggest change I made was I never actually tracked like carbs and protein, but I just started eating healthy. So like all natural foods. Like I cut out like all sodas unless it was diet. I'd have a diet soda every once in a while.
Yeah.
But like I cut out all sodas, a lot of like the bready stuff, desserts, all that. And calorie deficit was the biggest thing for me.
Oh, for sure.
I was eating like 1,200 calories a day, but of like good food. Yeah, it was a massive calorie deficit.
That's a big fat deficit.
Dude, it worked though. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I bet. It's risky. So like I wouldn't like advise it, but it worked. Yeah. And I felt fine. Like I never had any health issues or like felt weak or anything, but I know a lot of people do feel that way if a calorie deficit's too big. So I don't know. I wouldn't like recommend being in a massive one, but yeah, you're right. Like just tracking what you're eating in general, just trying to eat healthy. I feel like that made the biggest difference for me. And even more so tracking proteins, all that jazz.
And I think like just being by myself, it gives me so much more room to be more like I have less things to worry about. I could just focus. I'm zoned in, I'm locked in, I'm dialed. And like with my friends I can they help me a lot with like the gym aspect. Like they gave me their own split. Shout out Caden, CC3.
Shout out.
And he helps me in the gym and with the diet stuff. So having friends too that, are also locked in doing it every day, it helps a lot too. But
that definitely does. Dude, that's sick.
Yeah. Down a few pounds. I'm trying to get down more. Right now I'm at 195 and I want to get down to 180. So that's
okay,
goal.
Good. Yeah. That's yeah. But my brother's trying to get up to 195, which has been fun watching him do that. My brother's he's freaking shredded, dude. Yeah. He's a little maniac, but I'm proud of him. Nice. Okay. Nice. Well, dude, that's awesome.
yeah, man.
I've been on my little pretentious male streak. Watched some of
Yeah,
the
I've been
French
seeing
New
this.
Wave cinema. It's been interesting. I will say this: that stuff is not. It's not overrated in the sense that you shouldn't watch it. But for any of y'all that think that watching French films makes you a better film bro or cinephile,
Yeah.
some of those films are overrated. And what I mean by that is like you can admire the things that are good about them and still admit that they're not
Hmm.
like the best thing that's ever existed. Um, I watched like most people probably won't know who this is that are watching this, but I watched Godard's first feature film, Breathless, and everybody like praises it at this pillar of cinema from the 50s that just started so
Yeah.
much. And I will say, like on a technical level, especially with the camera movements and all that, he does things that are like unheard of. But the story itself is just so boring, especially for a story that's about like the story kind of centers around a guy that's running from the law and trying to get this girl he loves to go with him. That should be like a really, tightly paced, very um, very like edge of your seat movie, and it's just not. Like it's a very meandering, very slow, and it does it to try to explore like these different themes, but it doesn't really explore them because it tries to do so many, and so it just doesn't. It's all over the place. It doesn't really work. But
Yeah.
yeah, but it's just I don't know. But it's been good. It is cool to see like where people like Spielberg and Scorsese and all them got so much inspiration from for how they did their
Yeah.
movies. So I like that part of it for sure.
Yeah, it's
But
kind of
yeah.
weird to think about, like, because you see Scorsese, you see Steven Spielberg, and they're in like they're so like their movies are just them, like it's
Oh
just
yeah,
their style. They're so
it is.
unique.
Yeah.
But then you got to think like they at one point were inspired by someone,
Yeah.
and then it's kind
Yeah.
of weird to think that because they're so special, they're so different than everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see
Yeah.
that like they had people that inspired them as filmmakers. It's pretty cool.
Especially, yeah, I really noticed with Godard. Spielberg does a lot of tracking shots, and he loves to switch characters in his tracking shots. And it was weird to see somebody like Godard do that in the 50s. Like he had these long one takes where he would follow a character, and then another character would stand up, and all of a sudden the camera would pan to that character and follow that character. And it's something Spielberg does all the time, but it was like really cool to see somebody during that time period do it because it just like I said, that
Yeah.
kind of filmmaking was just so new. And
Hmm.
it's been interesting too because it like those films were the first films that really utilized natural light. They didn't use sets, so they filmed like out in the open, and they were filmed like a lot of them were filmed very handheld. Like it was very guerrilla filmmaking, and so it's cool to see like how innovative they got. But I will say I do think you can find that some of those films, some are really good and some are definitely overrated, but they're worth watching, and that's what's been cool
Yeah.
about it. So, but that's what I've been
Yeah.
up to. That and a lot of
Nice,
editing
man.
and putting stuff out for this podcast. But yeah.
Sick. I will say I did rewatch the OG Blade Runner, and
Oh, you told me that.
and man, it's just so good. It's
Yeah.
so good. People need to
Yeah.
watch that movie. It
I've
it
only
just
I,
makes you think. Honestly, it's like it's one of those movies, and I love when it's like this. Like No Country for Old Men does it really well, where they have these
Mhm.
characters that are really cool, and there's like a spectacle, like it's a shootout or it's something really just sick,
Yeah.
but it carries a theme and a narrative
Yeah.
along with the story with like great writing. And this movie does it perfectly, and it's so insane to me visually, and like the score, like the way it sounds.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is so unique for any movie, even not even just like for its time. I just think like all time.
Yeah.
It's such like you could show me a still from this movie, and I'd be able to pick out that it's Blade Runner like just instantly.
It is it definitely has like, and I've never seen the movie in full, but I've definitely seen lots of bits and pieces especially with a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. I've watched a lot of the behind the scenes of that movie, and it definitely has very much its own visual language and its own like personality to it. And
it's so good, man.
Yeah, no,
So
Ridley
good.
Scott, Ridley Scott really. I think people forget how talented he is because, admittedly, a lot of his more recent work is very like it almost feels phoned in a little bit. Like he doesn't really care about it, but he knows it'll make a lot of money because his name's attached to it. And so, I understand why that has been hated on the way it is, but I don't think we should forget like he really did make some just just very like life altering and like in the history of cinema, just very like cinema altering movies, the movies that really changed film for good and like forever. So I don't know. It's crazy what he was putting out back then. I mean, just that Alien.
He's a legend.
Yeah, he really is. So
true legend.
Yeah, that's awesome though, dude. I'm glad you saw that. I really do need to sit down and watch that.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah. All right.
You must.
So, Caleb, we know why we're here, and we know why the people are here, and that's because they want to hear us review Spider-Man: Brand New Day, the new Des and Daniel Cretton movie starring Tom Holland, Zendaya, and the CEO, and so we're here to share our opinions on that. But but before we share our opinions on that, I think we should give our rating out of 5, and I want to do it at the same time, right? So I'm going to count down from 3, and we're both going to say our rating out of 5 at the same time. All right?
Okay.
All right, bet. All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, 3 out of 5.
4 stars.
Ooh, okay. So you're higher on it than I am.
What? You only gave it a 3?
I only gave it a 3, but okay, I gave it like a 3. Like I loved it with a 3. Like it's
okay.
We'll get into it. I'll let you go first since I'm lower. I'll let you go first. You explain to the people why you love this so much.
Yeah. So I mean, right as I left the theater, I instantly knew it was the best of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. Yeah. I love the way it looks. I love the way it like feels. It's like so comic booky. That's the best type of superhero movies are the ones that feel like a comic book, if that makes sense. Yeah. It feels like they're inspired by things and inspired by, what makes this character and what made the character as big as they are and relatable as they are. And you see that in this movie a lot. Tom Holland's really good in this. He's amazing in this. I really like how funny he is and how like sad he is in this. Like he displays, depression, honestly, in such a good way. I love the chemistry he has with like honestly everyone in this. Like he has good chemistry with everyone in here. There's a few characters that I think weren't like very necessary to, be in here. Honestly, like the officer lady, I forgot her name, but the lady from the bear.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool to have she's cool. They have a nice little back and forth, but it's never anything like, I needed this kind of thing. And then also the one holdback, and I know people may not agree with this, but it's Spider-Man. And between Spider-Man and Batman, they have probably the best villains, best rogues gallery.
Yeah.
Of all superheroes, of all comics.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I didn't necessarily like how the main villain of this movie was like the third best X-Men or just an X-Men.
Yeah, and they weren't even really a villain. It was weird.
And I don't like that aspect, but the thing is, it was still good. I liked how they used her If it would have been way worse, I would have hated it way worse if they used her in a worse way. But they ended up using her pretty well.
Yeah.
Because it played to Peter Parker's, sadness a little bit. It played with that, and it played with his his longing for his friends back and people to know who he is again, and specifically MJ. And I think everyone knows what scene I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I loved.
Oh,
I think
by the
Punisher
way,
was funny.
spoiler
Go ahead,
warning.
sir.
Spoiler warning for
Spoiler.
everybody. Like, this is not a spoiler-free review, so
Yeah.
it might be too late, but
A little too late there. But I really like Punisher in this. Honestly, people probably don't like him.
Yeah.
He's not as brutal and dark, but I think it was kind of perfect. It was because you still get to see glimpse of his backstory and all of his darkness. It's not like they're hiding it. Everyone knows his trauma and stuff, but they're also not making him they're not making it a joke of him, and they're not making him so silly and stupid. He's still really cool in this, and he's still doing Punisher things. But I think when you add someone like Spider-Man, you have a good banter between those two. Because Spider-Man's a young kid, and he's always funny and doing fun stuff. I guess I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah.
But Punisher is way different. He's totally opposite. So they have really fun banter back and forth. And he's hilarious. So I loved him in there. But most of all, I really love how this movie talks about, finally noticing that you have a problem,
Mm-hmm.
and coming to light with it, and making the choice to get better, to help yourself. And it's kind of rare with MCU movies nowadays that you get a good message in movies.
Yeah,
and I
agree.
think this movie represented Spider-Man and what Spider-Man represents. They show it so well, in that he's had nothing but pain and trauma for the last 5 years of his life, but that's not going to stop him from picking himself up and doing the right thing, being a person that the city needs and that the world needs. And I think it's really admirable. I like the score a lot too. I think the score is sick.
Yeah, that's a great point. I did too.
Yeah, the score is sick. But yeah, man, I just had a blast with it too. I think his suit's awesome. I like how they didn't go too much with the AI, and like they did in Far From Home, where she's just OP and she can just do whatever. She's basically like Iron Man, and I'm like, dude, or she's like Jarvis or whatever. But I like how this one's more like Siri or something like that. He'll just ask her for info, and she'll just give him the info. She's not calling drone strikes or showing hot spots where people are, where villains. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. I
like
that as well.
how far away it was from Spider-Man being Iron Man, which is what I don't like in the other three movies. That's a big aspect of it. It's we get this one, we get a street level Spider-Man again. And it's nice to see. It should have been like this from the very beginning for Tom Holland, because he could have been the best Spider-Man, or he could have had the best movies if he didn't appear in Civil War for the first time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's
I couldn't agree more.
But yeah, so everything I didn't like about the last movies was kind of fixed with this one, and they did the good things right, in my opinion. So it's a really good Spider-Man movie. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. I'll say this, dude. I think people have taken the few people I've talked to have like when I initially say like did I give it a lower rating than them, everybody kind of takes it as like I don't like this movie. I really like this movie. I cried in the first 15 minutes of this movie. I on an emotional level, this movie hit me really really hard.
Yeah.
When I saw Spider-Man just broken and on his own and just trying to do the right thing and help the people of New York and just feeling like he had this massive weight on his shoulders and he's carrying this burden of knowing that he can never be close to anyone again, but it's still his duty to help all these people out. And it just felt like we were back to the Spider-Man we all love. And it hit me so hard, man. And I started tearing up. Like I was like, wow, this is awesome. And you know this from talking to me. I am a sucker for any sort of personality or creativity within a movie. And for once, we finally got some semblance of creativity in a Spider-Man movie. They had shaky cam. They had actual lighting for once. They had, some like one takes kind of. They weren't really one takes, but they didn't just cut all the time, which I liked. That also shows that the editing was better in a lot of departments on this one. The fight choreography was significantly better, and the dialogue in here was so much better than it has been.
Steps ahead, dude.
Steps ahead. Now,
way better.
The problem for me is after about the first 20 minutes, a lot of the issues I have with the other ones start to kind of come back in here. I think structurally, this movie is a mess. I think it's a mess tonally as well. I think its tone is all over the place, and I think a lot of that has to do with the way they just shoehorn in MCU characters throughout the movie. And it really messes with, like, I would be super into a scene, and then they would just shoehorn something else in for laughs or to, like, bring in a character for, like, oh, cameo, and I'd be like, okay, why? Like, it didn't feel like it belonged most of the time. And that really ticked me off because to me, that's just bad writing. It's like, fan service stuff that honestly none of us really care about, if we're being honest. Like, no one's going away from a Spider-Man movie and being like, oh, they didn't have Captain America. Like, no one cares. Like, they're there for a Spider-Man movie. No one needs these cameos. I actually thought the whole cameo could have been cool, but
I liked it.
I liked it as an individual scene, but it felt like it belonged at the end of a movie, not in the middle of a movie. And so I thought that was another bad choice. Now, that's a personal opinion. I know a lot of people have loved it, so don't hate me. But I felt that kind of scene carried a weight that should have been at the end of the movie and not in the middle. I thought it would have been...
I have it's like a bittersweet kind of thing because I think I kind of agree with you. Like, I don't think it needed to be in there. But it was still pretty sick. Like, we got to see old Hulk back and not like Bruce Banner,
which I enjoyed. But it don't you agree though that if we had kept building up this character with Jean Grey, and it culminates in this end fight where she's utilizing Hulk, and I think that could have been a pretty cool end to a movie like that. And it felt like the end to a movie when I saw it. Like, I was like, okay, this just feels out of place to me. Like, they really wanted to do this, so they just found a way to fit it in here. And it's fine. Like, I know, once again, I know that's just an opinion. It's just an opinion I have. It's how I felt when I saw it. But I do understand why other people love that part of this movie. But I just want to say, like, before I really go into things... Before I just make it sound like I dislike this movie. I really did like this movie, and I really got emotional during this movie. And I think it is the best, it's the most vulnerable, heartbreaking, just layered performance that I've seen from Tom Holland so far. And every bit of that connected with me in every way it should have. And I loved it. And the scenes, especially towards the beginning, where we saw him struggling with his relationship while also struggling with trying to find his identity and find who he is and his place in this world, was some of the most impactful I've seen from his Spider-Man. And just from him in general. And
Yeah.
that was really touching to me. It meant a lot to me. I also loved Frank in here. Once again, it felt tonally off in a lot of ways to me. Not having him in here, but the way like it would switch between like this dark Spider-Man movie about identity and almost like a coming of age story, and then all of a sudden it felt like a buddy cop movie. That kind of like dynamic threw me off a little bit, but I still individually really enjoyed the scenes with Frank, and that I laughed a lot in those, so it does work.
Yeah.
And I like Frank as a character. I think he's awesome, and he's
Mm-hmm.
also like he's layered in a very cliche way, but he's still layered, and I appreciate that. It's not
Yeah.
like it's super deep or complex, but it's, it still works in so many ways, and I think that's more of a credit to John Bernthal's performance, if anything. So yeah, man, I don't know. Like, but rundown of things I didn't like, even though I've kind of already said them. I didn't like the way they structured it. I felt like it was like 4 movies in one. MJ and Tom still have no chemistry in these movies for me. Her character
Whoa.
still feels so underwritten. I don't really feel like I know her character, and I've never felt like I knew her character in any of these movies. So I have an issue with that. I also have an issue with the way they wrap up that plot line, where it's just like they kind of take the easy way out and just make her be like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know you, so I wouldn't love you. And then it just kind of ends there, and they never really resolve it past that. And I was like, well, to me, someone who like loved the end of No Way Home, that just felt super not satisfying. And it just kind of was like, oh, it just kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth. So I didn't like that. And I didn't like the villain because the real villain is the whatchamacallit department thing. And
Yeah.
for somebody like me that doesn't watch all the shows or read any of the comics, that just kind of felt like I don't know who these people are or why I should hate them. And so like it just felt like super cookie cutter, like, oh, see, they do bad stuff, hate these people. I don't know. So I was kind of like, I kind of miss how, especially in the Maguire movies, we had these really like fleshed out villains that like we could like understand where they were coming from, but also why they were evil, but we understood why they were evil. And like, I just kind of miss that dynamic of Spider-Man movies. So I didn't love that, but it wasn't, I mean, it's not a big deal. And I did like, say what you were saying.
My bad. I would say like, it's just like Spider-Man has so many villains you could make a movie about.
Yeah.
And like they chose her, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not that it wasn't executed poorly. I mean, there's some parts like to me like that whole bench scene where she's with her sister. I'm like, dude, how are you like whatever the department or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
They are scouting out for Sarah Gray, and somehow they didn't see that Jean Grey was right next to her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro.
No, yeah.
How are you like scouting out? You got like binoculars just checking for this chick, and they're both on the same bench, but somehow Jean got away. It makes no sense.
It's kind of my issue with like MCU movies in general now, where it's like they kind of just expect us
Slight plot armor.
Right, but they also kind of expect us to ignore the fact that they don't really write these characters out because they're just like, oh, well, they'll be in another movie. And it's like, okay, but individually, these should all be good movies. And so I shouldn't have to rely on another movie to learn about this character. But they write movies in such a way where most of the characters, they never develop anymore because, oh, it's a part of our bigger story thing. And for somebody like me, I just don't care. So if you don't properly develop the character, when I review your movie, I'm going to say I didn't like it, you know?
Yeah,
and that's just me. I don't really care about your bigger storyline. I review all of these individually as movies. And even if I like it, I'm not going to say it was a good movie if you didn't write everything well, in my opinion.
I agree.
My standard is useless and pointless, but like it's still, what I hold to. So,
what I would say about this movie is they did everything for Spider-Man correct, but the villain was bad. That's it. Not bad. Yeah. I would say they did everything correct with Spider-Man, but like on the foundation of there's nothing very like high stakes, or it's never high stakes, or it's never really like I don't hate Jean Grey.
But she's not really the villain, though. Like,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
And that was kind of my issue, where it's like, okay, but so she's not really the villain, but I really have no reason to hate this guy that is technically the actual villain. I don't know anything about him. I didn't watch Wonder Man. I don't have time to do all that. So I'm sorry, but I just don't know anything about this guy. And it goes back to my issue, where it's like, people who watch these things are like, oh, well, if you watch this, you know. Well, the thing is, man, like, this is an individual movie, and he's being introduced as a bad guy in here. I should be given a fleshed out character that I can understand his motives, why he is the way he is, and what made him become the way he became. But they don't do that anymore, because, I said, it's a lot of cameos, and even the bad guys feel like cameos now. And so I just don't love that about these movies. Like I said, though, Tom Holland, this is where I think you're right.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best Spider-Man. It's the perfect Spider-Man, but I don't even know it's because of the way they write him. It's because Tom Holland's performance embodies everything I've ever wanted in Spider-Man in this movie. And that in and of itself makes me love this movie. I could care less about anything else. He embodies what I want in Spider-Man perfectly. And
exactly.
For once, this movie lets Spider-Man use his actual powers, like his real Spidey powers, to fight
Iron
people.
Man.
Yeah, and it's so refreshing, and it's so cool, and it gave me chills, and I was just so in love with that just part of this movie. And
dude, when he says when what's the samurai guys or whatever, the ninjas,
yeah.
When they ask if he's Peter Parker or if he's Spider-Man, and he's like, I'm both. And then
it was sick. It was so
cool.
His
that scene is so sick. We finally get to see Spider-Man in good combat, like good fighting scenes.
I know.
Like, not that he didn't have like good ones in the last three, but this was like peak. Like, this is the best it's been in a while. I don't know,
man. I would say he didn't have good ones. I've never liked any of the fights in the previous movies.
So I rewatched No Way Home.
I did too. Oh,
that last scene that third act is amazing. Like, he's sick in that. Like, he's piecing up Green Goblin.
Okay, I like that part. The fights with Green Goblin I love. But you know what fight I actually love in there the most is the one in the second act when he's defending Aunt May. That is my favorite fight in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because that fight has so much relying on it. Because if he doesn't win, she'll probably die. And so it gave it a weight and like an emotional weight that I haven't seen in a Spider-Man movie in a long time. Outside of like TASM 2. Like, I think what works so well about the end of TASM 2 is that, like, Gwen's going to die if he doesn't defeat Green Goblin. And
true.
It just locks you in on that fight.
High stakes.
And so there just haven't been like high stakes in Spider-Man movies in a long time. And so I always enjoyed that part about No Way Home because it gave those stakes. And same with Brand New Day. I think the end fight actually does give a lot of stakes where, especially since it adds a lot of emotional weight to it, where you see that it's two people really struggling with their identity, really struggling with just their mental health in general and trying to come together and help each other with that. I thought that was really, really cool. And it made me care about the fight, which I respect. So, even if I thought they didn't really develop those characters well, I still really appreciated that fight and that third act a lot.
I just really like, I said this earlier, but just like seeing a Spider-Man that's not afraid of, showing that he's in pain, showing that he's hurting, but deciding to pick yourself up and, get better, like get people around you, and to be that for someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you see that with Jean Grey when she's like, I don't have anyone, and he's like, you have me. And it's just such a good representation of what this character was meant for.
I agree. Yeah.
And I love the title of the movie, like Brand New Day. It plays into that. It's like you don't have to be depressed. You don't have to be living in this dark version of the world. You can pick yourself up, and there can be a new day. There can be a new version of your life.
Yeah.
And I think they nailed the emotional aspects like to a T. It's great. It's so good.
I had a little bit of an issue with that. I think they did with Peter Parker's character. There was some emotional payoff though that I really wanted that I didn't get. I like I said before, I really hated the way they handled his plot line with Zendaya. Every time I think they're gonna fix it and like actually give me something with him and her, and every time in all of these movies I've always been disappointed with what I got. Other than the way No Way Home ends. The way No Way Home ends is so emotional for me. So I will give it that. But in here it just felt
I think him and MJ peaked their relationship peaked in No Way Home. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it really did. And in here, it's just
some good moments in it.
They resolved it in kind of just like a way I didn't really care for in here. That is subjective, obviously. No, like I said, that's subjective. It felt kind of weak to me. It felt like once again, man, I just feel like her character's super underdeveloped. And I thought in here they were going to take time to really like develop their relationship and show us like what actually makes their relationship so special. Because like she doesn't know who he is. So like you would feel like, oh, and here we can explore like why they were meant to be together, like why they love each other so much. Like it's gonna bring them back together. Like, you know, simultaneously contrast Tom trying to find who he is with both of them trying to find who they are and finding each other and all that. Kind of like Spider-Man 2 does, which is why I love Spider-Man 2. But they really don't. And so I was kind of disappointed by that because I think that was the plot line like I was most excited for. And so when they just kind of kept shoving it in the back a little bit, I was a little just disappointed. I don't know. Like I said, I think it is like a subjective complaint about this movie, but it did bother me a lot. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely good though.
Good movie.
I was super pleased with what I saw because I knew some people who were pretty low on it. And like,
really?
Yeah, like kind of in the podcast, like film space. I knew some people whose opinions I really trust. They were pretty low on it.
Yeah.
So I just kind of had like mixed feelings going in. And so I just didn't know what to expect. But I don't know, man. From beginning to end, it was an emotional roller coaster for me. So regardless of what I thought of it as like an actual movie, like, you know, how I judge every movie, I loved it. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, so that being said, that was our thoughts on it. I think we're going to move into this next little segment we got.
Oh, yeah, dude, this will be fun.
Will be fun.
Get ready to get pissed off.
Yeah, yes. Watch this. You're going to get mad.
Yeah, watch this. My takes are the only correct takes on what we're about to do. So.
Watch
Enjoy.
this. No, they're not. Because they suck. And be prepared. Because I think me and Taylor will probably only agree on one thing in here.
We might agree.
Maybe
we
not.
might agree on
see.
two.
We'll see.
I think we might agree on two.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, because I think...
Okay.
So, just so y'all know, we're going to rank all 9 live-action Spider-Man movies. We're not doing the animated ones. I feel like it's hard to compare the animated to the live-action, which I know a lot of people do, but I just wanted to keep that separate. So
just because they're obviously the best ones, like, in my opinion at least.
I think they're all top 3. So, like, I only think there's one live-action that deserves to be up there with them. But that's it.
Not me.
I know you don't. I do, though.
I think they're just on a different level of movie making and just everything.
Right, but I also think there's one of these Spider-Man movies that also is on that level. That's all I'm saying. Just one of them.
Okay.
I think the rest are significantly
if it's the one
far below.
If it's the one I'm thinking about, I could agree with that.
I think we might agree on this one. Anyway,
we
so
might
we're gonna
have
rank.
number one at the same. We'll see.
We might. We legitimately might. But yeah,
Okay.
dude.
I hope so.
So Caleb,
How do
I'm
you
not
want to
sure.
do this? Do you want to go?
Yeah.
Do you want to go like I'll go with my last place?
I
you
say
go with your last place.
Yeah, let's do that. So I'll be like,
Okay.
okay. I'll just be like, at my number 9, I have whatever, and then you can be like, well, say why, and then you say your number 9.
Yeah.
You have whatever.
Gotcha.
Say why. Okay. Do you want to go first? Do you want
Let me go first. Yeah, let me go first.
Go first.
And this is the one I think we'll agree on.
Yeah.
This is fresh on my mind. So
Yeah.
I rewatched Tom Holland's movies after Brand New Day.
Yeah.
Just to get a reminder. And at number 9, the last place, I have Far From Home. This movie is not good.
No.
And it sucks that people have been gaslit. Is that a word? Gaslit into believing that this movie is like amazing. Somehow.
Yeah, they say it's like underrated, and I'm like, no, it's.
Watch this. No, it's not. And then so Far From Home. This movie looks terrible.
Mm-hmm.
We have to. I think you agree with me on that.
Oh yeah, dude.
So CGI, so sloppy, and I think there's some cool parts, which I don't even think you agree with.
No, I don't. I really don't.
The dialogue, literally straight from a Disney show, like lab rats.
Dude, that's the part I like. We'll get into that. I'll explain.
No.
We'll explain.
Lab rats kicking it, like Cobra Kai type dialogue.
Yeah,
and I don't like it. I will say, Jake Gyllenhaal, I love you.
My goat.
I'm not gonna say anything bad against you because, like, you just get in that bag and dipping. That's valid.
Yeah.
Just get that Marvel money and leave. Never come back, bro. Please.
Yeah, I agree.
Leave it here. So, yeah. This movie's not great though.
No, yeah.
The first half is so boring. But the second half, I like the ending where he's in that tunnel, or not tunnel, but like in that hallway.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, watch this, and shoots him, and then he's just like, or you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
like he catches him. That was dope. And that whole scene where Mysterio's kind of just cooking with the visuals, kind of sick. But that's the only time the movie looks good to me, is when it's obviously a fake CGI scene. So, yes. But that being said, this movie's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. At my number 9, I also have Far From Home. It's like everything you said, except for I just hate it more. The one thing that you said that's funny, I like the dialogue, but the reason I like it is because whenever it just becomes like a slapstick comedy movie, it like allows me to just laugh at what I'm watching instead of having to like try to take it seriously. And so it's kind of like a relief from like everything I just freaking hate in that movie. So
to
like
me,
whenever Ned,
I can't even laugh at it though.
Yeah, but whenever Ned says something goofy out of nowhere, I'm like, bro, see, that's funny. Like that's my CEO being my CEO. And like CEO I dig that.
Just going back at it.
Yes, dude. And so
respect to Ned. He's funny.
And so that's where I vibe with the movie, is when it's just being like when it just commits to being goofy. I'm like, okay, dude, I vibe with this. This is funny. I don't like it, but at least it's funny.
Movie sucks when like the best part of it, of the people talking, is Ned. Like you're most excited to hear Ned talk. And that's not even knock to like Ned. He's not annoying or anything. He's funny.
No, he is.
But he's never like a great actor and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, he's there for comic relief, so it's like yeah.
But shout out Ned though. I love that dude.
Shout out Ned. Freaking love that character.
Yeah,
speaking of, bro, funny. That in scene of Brand New Day, that in scene of Brand New Day where they do the handshake was so good. I love that. Dude,
I saw a theory that it was like in No Way Home when Ned has a ring thing to make portals. He like created a spell because they dapped up or whatever, and then it puts like.
Oh.
So then when he did it back, it was like tying that together.
Oh, dude, that's actually cool.
That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well, anyways, Caleb,
any
what do
Hoosers?
you have at your 8th?
At my 8th movie in the list, I have Spider-Man 2. And people are going to hate me because apparently they really like this movie, even though it's not good. And if you watch it, you can tell. This movie wastes so much time on things that they shouldn't, like his little stuff with his dad. On any scene with Green Goblin in this, complete trash. Taylor left the room. It's just me now. Me and you guys. And is he in the mirror? I see you in the mirror. Are you?
Sorry. Okay. I just... W rage bait, guys.
No, this movie sucks. It doesn't... Okay, maybe it doesn't suck.
Have you watched it recently?
Fun, cool parts. Not in a long time, but...
You need to rewatch it. I think you'll change your mind.
I'll rewatch it.
I'm being so serious.
I'll give it... But
let's just say we do not have the same number one.
Sucks.
Wait, that's Spider-Man 1, not Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 is not Green Goblin.
Yes, it is.
No, it's Doc Ock.
Because it's... No. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said Spider-Man 2. No, you didn't say The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, shoot. That's what I meant. My bad.
Oh, dude. I thought you were rage baiting me. I was like, you actually think Spider-Man 2 is the worst?
We're in TASM 2.
Oh, dude, I almost had a heart attack. I was like, bro,
honestly,
you're smoking
I would have done
crack.
more than walking out.
I was trying to be nice. I was like, I'm going to hear him out, but like, gosh, dang, that's a terrible take.
No, so...
No, TASM 2 is...
I apologize sincerely. TASM 2 at number 8.
Oh.
I'm just going to... I've said what I needed to say, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think I don't like... the scene where he's like swinging through the city and it's like the flashing lights and stuff.
Yeah.
It looks trash. Everything else with the swinging is cool. Everyone knows... I think the reason why this movie is rated so highly is solely because of him and Gwen. Like,
I mean,
why
that's
people
a huge part of this movie.
Yeah, but everything else kind of sucks if we're being real.
If we're being real, it doesn't.
Yes, though. It does, though.
There's some writing issues that are terrible, but I don't think...
Not even just writing, bro. Visually it's cool. Cool action. That whole end is cool, I guess. But this movie is only... Because if Gwen survived or whatever...
Yeah.
This movie would not be talked about as much. People glaze it for that scene. People are gonna hate me, by the way. I totally expect. Like I don't
think it's a terrible take. I would argue with some of
this movie's bad.
I would just argue with some of the points you're making. I don't actually think it's a terrible take.
From Far From Home, that's the only movie I have below a 3-star. Just
gosh, I have a lot of these below a 3-star.
I know you do, but I like Spider-Man 2. I love the Gwen Stacy, Peter Parker relationship. I love Andrew. I'll glaze Andrew to the day I die. He's an awesome Spider-Man. I love his suit. I love his humor. The way he moves is so Spider-Man. I love him in this. And don't get me wrong, I'll glaze Andrew. I saw a comment the other day that was like, I'm not glazing this movie. I'm glazing Andrew. And I was like, I'm in agreement. Andrew's the best part of this. And so is Emma
Stone.
Yeah. Emma Stone and Gwen. So, not a bad movie. I'll take that back. I was kind of trashing on it a little bit. Not a bad movie, but it's not good.
Yeah, fair enough. Dude, you know what? All I'll say is this. Well, I'll talk about it later because I'm gonna have to bring it up in my ranking. So my number 8. At my number 8, I have Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now, before you get mad at me having this number 8, I don't think Spider-Man: Homecoming. I just
I think you
I'll
do.
get okay. Before I talk about what I dislike about it, I'll say this for it. It tries to do something different with Spider-Man that wasn't really in the first 5 movies, and I do like that. I appreciate that. Right? It doesn't give us an origin story. It tries to really focus on him being a high schooler and that dynamic, and what that would be
Cool.
like. And I think that part's cool. I actually think the first 20 or so minutes give us some cool scenes of him being in New York and mingling with some of the people as a high schooler, which is like, it's kind of everything you want to see out of Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Where it falls apart for me is something you brought up earlier. I hate the whole like extension of Iron Man thing. It doesn't really work for me.
Yeah. It's annoying.
Yeah, I think the villain in here is just terrible, especially since like from people that have read the comics, they've told me like what he's really supposed to be.
Oh man.
And dude, he could be such a good villain, and he's just so not. Yeah, they nerf him, and like they give him like his motives just don't make sense to me. Like he got ripped off by the Avengers, so he decided to become an arms dealer. I don't know. It's just there's really no development with him, so it's like it just doesn't make a ton of sense. It makes sense, but I also don't care because it's just so like we just need a villain, so we just picked one kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah. So I've never really felt like there were stakes. I will say there's some like cool action sequences towards the end with them, but like the problem is they have no weight for me because I just don't feel like they matter. So I just, in general, I find it to just be kind of like a boring movie to sit through. But I will say this: I can appreciate why there are people that love this movie, and so I don't want to come at it from like, oh, this is terrible. Why would you love this? I get why people like it. Just for me personally, off how I judge movies, I don't like it. And I just think the writing is a mess. I also hate this was kind of in the era when Marvel movies just looked flat and bland, and they just had no sort of like personality about them at all. Like hate TASM all you want to. At least TASM had its own like style, and it looked like a TASM movie. And like they were trying to do creative things outside of just the story, like come up with cool ways to do fight scenes, come up with like innovative ways to film this. And like there was just genuine creativity there, and there's just no creativity in Homecoming. Like it is just the most by the numbers filmmaking you've ever seen. And I just don't enjoy that at all. But I said, get what people like it. So yeah, that's my Spider-Man Homecoming.
So funny you mentioned that, because at my 7 I have Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay, see, yeah, fair enough.
And this is what I said fresh off rewatching this trilogy. So I kind of just echo what you said. I don't think it's good, really. I mean, okay, here. It's a good movie. I think it's a good movie. I gave it a 3-star.
Yeah.
But that was solely based on pretty much Tom Holland. Because this movie, I will say this, he is a perfect casting for Spider-Man, for Peter
I agree
Parker.
with that. Yeah,
especially at that age where he was, it's like he's like perfect for. Yep. But the thing is, it kind of ruined it with the direction of the story, the direction of where things are going, and like I said, like Iron Man stuff, I'm like, I hate this so much. It doesn't feel like Spider-Man's here. It feels like Iron Man is,
Yeah.
It feels like an Iron Man movie, and then Spider-Man's in it, kind of.
Yeah, I agree.
Or I guess maybe it's the opposite, but I don't like that aspect. And then I definitely hate how bad they butchered Vulture. He could have been so much better.
Yeah,
could have been so much cooler.
It's so kind of just lame.
Yeah, but I will say a part that made me laugh like probably too much is Ned's trying to like help him, and they have like prom or whatever.
Yeah,
and he's in the library, and he's helping him. The librarian comes in. She's like, you should be at a party or whatever. And she's like, what are you doing? And he goes, watching porn. Made me laugh so much. I don't know why.
Dude, hey, he's the CEO for a reason.
It would be a good answer. He was like, you could see him think like, maybe this is a good answer if I just be honest.
Dude, it's so good.
Porn? So funny. But That's the best part of this movie.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
So
Yeah.
that's where I have my number 7 is my 7th movie.
Dude, that's
So
sick.
We could probably run through these a little bit faster.
Yeah, we do. I'll try to keep. I think from here, since I generally like the rest of these, it won't take me as much. Number 7.
Yep.
This might be a hot take. This might not. I don't know. I actually do like this movie, but at number 7, I have Spider-Man: No Way Home. There's a lot in here, like in the way it's done, that doesn't do it for me. Once again, like the MCU-ness of it all just doesn't work for me in here. I kind of like, I don't know, like all the cameo stuff. It's just weird. Max doesn't even look like Max from TASM 2, which I thought was also a weird choice. Like Electro just is so different. So it's kind of weird to bring back
the
Electro.
Total opposite.
Yeah, that was just weird. He doesn't even have the same personality.
Yeah.
There was just like a lot of structural. I thought the editing in here was terrible. The way they cut certain scenes really undercuts some pretty powerful like emotional beats and even like just powerful moments in general. So that really bugged me. But like the very end of this movie and the scene where Aunt May dies, those work really well. And so it kind of makes me forgive a lot of the things I didn't like. And so I always come away from this movie enjoying what I watched. So it's at number 7 because I don't think it's a really good movie, but I still like it and I still enjoy watching it. So
My bad.
Yeah. No, you're good.
That's a good synopsis on that. At my number 6,
you're at number. Are you at number? Oh, you are at number 6.
Yeah, I am at number 6.
Dude, yeah.
So my number 6, and like I said, I told Taylor before this, like I kind of want to rewatch all of these.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while before, like it's not completely fresh on my mind. Don't get me wrong, I know these movies, like.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen these many times throughout my life, but
yeah.
But I wanted to rewatch, so this could change. But at number 6, I have Spider-Man 3.
Oh yeah, that's valid.
I don't personally hate it as much as people do. I don't see
same.
the hate that this movie gets, and this is where I think it'll be different than like. I think my Spider-Man 3 is what your TASM 2 is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you kind of you have like a hot take, I guess, that TASM 2 is a good movie. But
barely, but yeah.
I don't think so. But then I think Spider-Man 3 is a good movie.
Yeah.
I think this tonally is so cool. It's like
oh yeah.
the whole very dark and it's cool. And it's like emo kind of. I like the symbiote suit a lot. It's so sick. I like it's funny. It's really fun. I'm not going to lie. When Eddie Brock is praying for Spider-Man or for Peter Parker to die, that has me dying laughing. So like every time, like
yeah.
Imagine hating someone so much.
Yeah, dude, it's so
that
good.
you pray to God to kill them. Like, bro, it's so funny.
Yeah, yeah, dude, such a good movie.
It's hilarious. So I like that, but then I also, bro, I love Sandman's story in this.
Oh, dude, I do too.
It's touching and it's like sad and it's like you feel for the guy, but you understand why he's a villain, kind of. And I think his design is sick. Like that scene where he's picking up the thing, but he's sand now, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm sand." Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, I know. Yeah,
I love that part. And I think it's done well. And don't get me wrong, it definitely has its flaws. It's like
for sure
pretty corny at times, which all of those movies are. But I think that's kind of a good part. Like,
that is a good part to me. I like the corniness in those movies.
But that's my number 6.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's funny you should say that like you feel about that the same way I feel about TASM 2. Because, okay, I will say my number 6 through my number 3, I could all interchange. Like, I kind of feel all about them the same way. So I really just have them, like, ranked in order of how much I'd rather, like, watch them again. So, yeah, but they're all kind of interchangeable. Like, I think number 6 and number 3 are all 3 stars for me. So at number 6, I have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think it's barely a good movie to me. And that's just because the highs in it are so powerful to me that I think it kind of just barely outweighs like the lows of that movie. Which obviously I think the biggest low in that movie for me is that they don't develop any sort of villain well at all in there. The backstory for Electro is terrible, and then they just kind of shove Green Goblin in. They give like a bunch of exposition for like 5 minutes, and then they're like, okay, so here he is, and they're friends. And I'm like, well, why didn't we introduce this character in the first movie? Because that would make way more sense, right? But anyway, and because they do that though, none of the fights and just anything feels like it has any sort of like, it just doesn't feel like it matters. And so the pacing feels so slow because you just don't really know why you should care about watching this movie, right? But where it shines is when it's about their relationship and like the struggles in their relationship and them trying to figure their relationship out, and Peter going through like this side of like, I want to honor her dad and keep her safe, but this is also the woman I love. All of those moments are genuinely done so well, and they work so well for me that I just end up, I think it's done well enough and focused on enough to warrant it being a good movie in my opinion. So I have it number 6, and I think
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I think the end of it works really well.
Sense.
So it's at my number 6. But yeah,
I'm not mad at that. At the highs being really high, because the highs are really high now.
Yeah,
and they're done well. So
yeah.
All right, at my number 5, coming off of literally we watching this 20 minutes before we started this episode, I have No Way Home.
Dude, sick.
Yeah, I honestly, on rewatch, this kind of amplifies Brand New Day for me. I think it makes it sadder because on rewatch I saw how, and this is why I said earlier that MJ and Peter, like their relationship kind of peaked here, because when Peter loses Aunt May and he's basically lost everything.
Right.
Or that's what it feels like, that's his.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. You get to see Ned and MJ just like comforting him, and just that scene is so beautiful to me. Like he loses Aunt May, and then they know exactly where he would be to just sit and think about stuff. So they go to see him, and they just comfort him when he's crying. And something about Tom Holland, he just knows how to cry really well.
I agree.
It's such a weird thing to say, but like he's so good at making you like feel bad for him because it's Tom Holland. He's such a nice person, and like he's chipper and fun.
It's very bright.
And then when you see him cry, you're like, oh dang, I feel bad. But that's why I really like that. That whole ending is honestly great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I honestly really like No Way Home, and I give it a 3.5 because I think there's some nostalgia bait that's like reliant. The movie's like kind of contingent on people really liking it because the 3 Spider-Man are back, or the 2 Spider-Man come back and stuff. But even when it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, because they came back, and when they had their talk with Peter, or with Tom Holland's Peter, they had a good back and forth. I really liked that. And they're funny, and later on, I liked it. I loved the moments with all 3. So I fell for the bait, I'm not going to lie. So that's my 5th pick.
I know I didn't really mention it, but I actually love that part of that. I love all the villains that come back, and I do love when all Spider-Men come back. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think like
it's
the dialogue. Yeah, I don't know how you don't like that. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I actually don't hate on that part of the movie. I more hate on that like the movie puts so much in there that it doesn't feel like it can take enough time to properly like really develop its story. And so that's more what I don't like. But like the actual Spider-Man all coming together, I think it's a great use of like the multiverse, and I think it's cool. And it's like the nostalgia is awesome. So yeah, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I like that part of the movie. And I love Green Goblin in there, but I always love Green Goblin.
Sick,
so, yeah. So my number 5 is where I put Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Uh,
Nice.
I mean, I know we've already talked about it already, so I don't want to spend a ton of time, but I think why it's here for me is it hits that perfect middle ground of emotionally, kind of like TASM 2 for me. It's great. And it better than TASM 2. The pacing is way better and a bunch of other things. But the emotion's really there. It's genuinely heartfelt. Its motives and its creative intent, they're all in the right place, and so it does all end up working together to make for a really good experience. And I don't know, so I really love this movie. There's simply 4 movies that I love more, so that's really all it is. But yeah.
All right. At my number 4, I have possibly the most underrated Spider-Man movie. And I have The Amazing Spider-Man.
Dude, yes.
People
Let's go.
Look over this movie. Come on, bro.
I agree, bro. I agree.
Why is there so much glaze for The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Because it gets hated on a lot.
Movie this.
Because it gets
so
hated.
Good.
I think the glaze is just because people hate on it a lot, and so like because the Tom Holland
trying
movies
to be different.
No, I think because the Tom Holland movies were so like kind of a letdown in some aspects, you go back to The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and it's like you don't realize how good you kind of had it during that time. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's honestly what it is. If I had to guess, I could be wrong though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. To me, I think it's a really good origin story.
Oh yeah, I agree.
For Spider-Man, I still don't like how they keep this stuff in with about his parents. I don't understand that.
It's such a weird plot. Yeah, it's such a
waste of time. Like,
yeah,
no one really cares. No one, but it's a Spider-Man story. No one really cares about his parents.
Yeah,
you care more about his uncles and aunt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I really like this. I also like you get to see a lot of like this movie. You get to see a lot of that chemistry building with him and Emma, and Gwen Stacy, and I like that aspect a lot. I will say the suit. I don't like the eyes. We talked about this, but I'm not a big fan of the eyes. What I will say though is I love the fight scenes in the end, and I love Lizard being the main bad guy, and I like his villain. Like I like his story. I think it's sick.
Yeah.
I also love everything as Peter Parker because we just get to see Andrew have fun, kind of. Yeah, like I said, I'll glaze Andrew. I don't care.
Yeah.
Love me some Andrew. So that's my number 4.
Heck yeah. Well, dude, we have the same number 4. At number 4, I know, dude. At number 4, I also have The Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, just to top off what you said, I'll say this. I think the parent plot is stupid, but the parent plot does work to make you care about the Lizard character as a villain. So it's kind of two-sided for me. That villain really works for me because you see how on an emotional level it affects Peter. But with you, I also agree that just the parents' plot, just especially when The Amazing Spider-Man 2 tries to build on it, is just so dumb. And they don't really develop a relationship with Uncle Ben, which really does a disservice to his death in that movie. Something that the original Spider-Man movie did so well and built out so well. So
it's easily the weakest Uncle Ben.
It is, and to be fair, I also give this movie a 3 out of 5. Like, love it so much. Like, I watch it every year with my little brother, like, because he loves it. Like, there's so much I love about this movie, but as a movie, there are so many issues with for me at least, with how they do it. And but everything you said, I agree with. And the scenes where we get to see Peter Parker just enjoy being Spider-Man. Like that just youthful enjoyment of like, wow, I can do all this stuff. It's cool. And it's so much fun to watch. And I love it, dude.
And I like like all the mechanics of the swinging and the mechanics
Yeah.
of being Spider-Man is done so well with this
Oh,
Spider-Man.
and dude, he has fun being Spider-Man. Something that like you
Exactly.
don't really see in a lot of the other movies. And the swinging scenes in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I don't know who did them or how they did them, but they're just so much better than any of the other movies. I don't really know why, but it
No,
does
man.
kind of
I like that in
carry
my opinion.
it does kind of carry those movies for me, like
Yeah.
how dynamic and just how much you feel the swinging scenes in these movies. But yeah, so my number 4 is also the Amazing Spider-Man. It's a good time. I love it.
Sick. Yeah. My number 3 is where I'm going to be placing Brand New Day.
Okay, sick.
I mean, we just talked about it, but I really like it, and anytime you can bring back the feeling of Spider-Man, the feeling that you want to get from Spider-Man, that's like, you can get inspired by Spider-Man. And I
Yeah,
think this movie makes you realize, like, you can relate to this character.
yeah,
I just had a big I had that big like inspiration. I've been Spider-Man pilled up for a little bit after that watching it because I'm like
yeah,
I got a glimpse of what Tom Holland's Spider-Man could be, and I wanted
yeah,
more.
yeah.
But so yeah, great movie. And over time, this list will probably change if I'm being real. But
That's fair.
that's
Yeah.
where I have it now. Number 3.
Fair enough, dude. I mean, at my 3, it's a movie you already talked about, but I have Spider-Man 3. Um, Also another 3 out of 5 for me, but a 3 out of 5 like with a genuine like people really don't appreciate how cool this movie
Yeah,
is.
man.
Uh,
Sick.
and it's so unashamedly quirky. Like it really doesn't give two fricks what you think about how weird it is. It just totally buys into being this stylish, weird, like almost like Lynchian superhero movie in a way. I know that it doesn't really work, but like there's just moments that are just so off-putting. But for me, I just kind of dig it. Like I'm like, okay, heck yeah. Like we're just playing with stuff at this point, you know. I think it
Yeah.
kind of makes it a mess as a movie, but I enjoy watching it a lot. I also think like it looks the best out of any of the Spider-Man movies. I think I love its color grade. I love the
Whoa.
colors in it. And I adore the way it's shot. The way it's shot is so cool to me. And Sam Raimi is just such a truly inventive and unique filmmaker. And what he
Yeah.
brings to the table in his movies are just always blows me away. And so this one's no exception. I love the way it looks. Obviously has a lot of story issues. They try to fit way too much into the plot, and it doesn't really work. To me, they should have just stayed focused on Harry's arc in becoming like his father, and really focused on that. As much as I like the Venom and Sandman plots, it just kind of distracts from a villain that I actually care about. So yeah, I don't know. I do like those parts, and I think the black suit is sick. But I really wish they had put more focus on Harry becoming the Goblin, and obviously also put a lot of focus on MJ and Peter's relationship as well in there. And so yeah, I don't know, but yeah, great movie, great time. So yeah, that's what I have at number 3.
Sick. So this will determine if because we have both of the Spider-Man. We have Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1.
Yeah,
This will determine if we have the same top
it will.
2.
Mm-hmm.
But at number 2, I have Spider-Man.
Dude, let's freaking go.
Do we have the same one?
We have the same top 2.
No, okay,
Bro.
valid.
Yeah, dude, let's go.
It was really close for me, honestly.
It's pretty close for me as
Because
well.
On one hand, we have the best villain probably in all of the live-action Spider-Man
I
with
agree.
Green Goblin in the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a great, cool story and amazing origin story for
Yeah.
a live action, movie,
Yeah.
comic book movie. But on the other hand, we have
Oh,
Spider-Man at his peak, in
hmm.
my opinion. We
Me
have
too.
we have him at it's a golden standard, in my opinion.
It is, dude.
We have him his best action. We have his best character with, where he's one with the city. It's you see him at his purest form, I think, in
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2. And I'm kind of just doing both reviews. I'm reviewing both right now, just
Yeah.
because everyone knows what my top one, what my 1 and 2 are now. So yeah, Spider-Man 2 is amazing. I think it's my favorite, like, swinging and action. Honestly,
Yeah.
I love how, like, creative Sam Raimi is with everything.
Yeah.
But it's so close for me between 1 and 2 because it's pretty much strictly just because of Green Goblin.
Yeah. Fair enough.
In 1, because, man, I love that ending so much, and I love everything with Willem Dafoe, but specifically his Green Goblin is iconic. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But 2 for me is where Spider-Man gets into more. He's challenged more,
Yeah.
and he has more of a resistance, and you see him falling, you see him hurt, but you see him come back, and you see him build stronger, and that's exactly the type of character you need to write for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's honestly just probably one of the better comic book movies maybe ever, like live action.
I definitely think so. But yeah.
So yeah, that's my list, man.
Yeah. Yeah, my number 2, I also have Spider-Man. One of my favorite origin story movies. I love how corny it is. I mean, inherently to me, comic book movies should just be kind of corny.
I
And
agree. Totally
I love
agree.
that the movie buys into it, and it's able to balance taking its story very seriously while also not being cringe.
Right.
It's able to do both, and one of the most powerful things it does is it really spends time with its characters. It's not trying to sell you just based on scale and just
Yep.
this like epic visuals. It really is just trying to be a grounded story about a man who is trying to come to terms with who he is, and it does it really well, and it covers all the aspects of that so well. And I think the reason it's a little lower for me is I do think the script can be like too corny for me, where there's just moments where I'm really struggling buying what I'm seeing, but or what
Yeah.
I'm hearing, kind of. But I will say this: the way they build out his relationship with Uncle Ben is so good in that
Oh,
movie, and it really adds so
it's
much
best.
power to the scene where he kills the guy, and you just feel
Yeah.
his anger, and you feel like his just character arc of who he's becoming, and just yeah, it's done so well, man. And obviously too, like, it's something I've kind of critiqued all the other ones for. The way Sam Raimi frames and blocks all his shots, and just all the shots in here, and just sets up his scenes, is so good. And you can feel the
Mm.
emotion simply off of the way a scene is shot. You don't have to have anybody say anything. You can feel what's being told just off what you see. And there's something to be said for that with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. What do you have at your number 1?
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I just need you to say, like,
Oh, yeah, okay.
yeah, just it's
So yeah, I have Spider-Man 2.
yeah,
It's the GOAT. Nothing better.
yeah. Yeah. At number 1, I also have Spider-Man 2. I think for me, I mean, it's everything. It's everything you've already said, but something. Oh, first off, there's some super creative shots in this movie. That shot where you see Spider-Man swinging, and I know people talk about this all the time, but you see him swinging, and then it starts panning out, and then you see that what you were looking at was in like the reflection of Doc Ock's glasses.
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest editing, like it's one of the coolest editing tricks in that movie, and it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I also haven't mentioned this, but the reason because these movies were shot in film, all of the visual effects are like layered under this just like grainy texture, and it actually kind of sells what you're looking at so much more than like when you watch the Tom Holland movies, and because everything's done digitally, it just looks fake. Like even if the CGI is so much better, it honestly looks more fake because of just how every like glossed over and smooth everything looks. Whereas in these movies, even though it's like the CGI is worse, because it has that texture and that like personality and all that coloring, all that vibrant coloring, it just feels more there, So I will say that for these as well. And to me too, Spider-Man 2 is what it does right, what Brand New Day couldn't do for me. It actually does complete Peter's character arc as this like coming of age story as he comes to terms with who he is, while also figuring out his relationship. And it does both simultaneously so well, something that Brand New Day didn't do for me. I think that's the other reason I love it, because it really does give me that emotional payoff that I wanted in that type of relationship and character arc, and just a story about mental health and identity in general, So
yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, to me, that movie, second only to the Batman, is my favorite superhero movie of all time. So I really can't.
Whoa.
I really can't hate it at all. I absolutely love it. So yeah.
Dang, maybe we should do a list of our top 10 superhero movies.
We should, dude. I think that'd be cool.
Comic book movies, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we should do comic book, because there's some like comic book movies aren't really superhero movies, but they're good. Like Constantine. Yeah. I think Constantine is a comic book
so
movie.
Underrated, man.
I know.
I love that movie.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, that's how I felt though, and that's where I'd rate them all. So, yeah.
Crazy. We have the worst movie as the same, and then we have the two best movies at the same.
Yeah, and then we also had.
But it's kind of hard to like not rate the first Spider-Man movies as number one. They're just so good, man.
Yeah, and they didn't have anything to base it off of. Like, they were coming up with everything. And like,
yeah, it's all new.
Yeah. And so you really do feel like that creativity behind it, and you really feel like what they wanted to tell you.
Yeah, it's awesome, bro.
They didn't have this like universe and all these characters to fall back on. Like, they were just out there like, all right, this either works or it doesn't. And they went for it, dude. And I love it. I enjoy
Sam
it.
Raimi's such a perfect pick to be directing those movies too.
Yeah.
It's just his unique style and the way he sees movies.
Yep.
And his like style and like dialogue is perfectly fitting too.
I agree.
It's so like comical in a way.
Yeah, I agree.
But I agree with what you said earlier about like every comic book movie should have a level of corniness.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, corny doesn't have to be cliche.
No, I agree.
And that's what I hate is and that's why I didn't like Far From Home a lot. There's so many cliches and like corny dialogue that you see in Cobra Kai, you see in like those types of shows where it's like, do you want it to actually be kind of like funny or silly, or do you just want to like get this script along and just make sure you just get a script out there? It's like,
yeah, I agree.
Come on, think a little bit more, put some more heart into this script. But yeah, man, that's our list. Let us know what you guys would change.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
you can yell at us, cuss, do whatever. I think we have pretty decent.
We can handle
lists.
it.
I'm actually not.
We can handle it.
I'm not terribly I'm not really mad at Taylor's. I would say I'm more mad of him not having these movies a little bit higher rated. But
I don't look at I hope people understand. Like, I don't. When I say 3, I think 3 equals good, or even kind of like really good. just to clarify, when I say 3 out of 5, I'm like, all right, this is good. I really like this. 3.5, I'm like, dang, this is like really, really good. 4 is kind of like minor masterpiece. Like, this is a masterpiece, but it's not like a masterpiece of masterpieces. 4.5, that's a masterpiece to me. Like, one of the best films I've ever seen. And then when you hit 5, you have just broken me down, impressed me. Like, I can't even believe what I just watched. So, like,
bursted your balls.
yeah, basically, bro. I've just nutted. Like, that's a 5. Like, I'm like, holy cow, what is this?
How do you even get to, like, one of the best movies ever being made at a 4.5? Like, where do you...
Yeah, so, like...
Shouldn't that just be a 5?
No, because I want 5 to feel...
personal element.
Yeah, 5 is like a 4.5 that, like, just totally blew my mind. Like, it's like, wow, this is just... So it's like, After Sun is a 5 because After Sun just... Every time I'm just like, what is this experience? Like, it's so crazy to me. I don't know how to handle what I just watched. Same with Drive, same with Good Will Hunting. Like, those movies every time blow my mind. I feel like I learn something new every time. I feel like I've been changed in a new way every time. So that's to me, and I need to change some of my ratings because I know there's some old ones that are kind of higher that probably shouldn't be. But that is currently how I look at that system. So like when you hear a 3 from me, it still means I think it's really good. It's not like a diss on these movies. I'm trying to like value my ratings more. And that's really all it is.
What I think people would see though is that you have like a movie like that at a 3.
Yeah.
But then there's so many other movies out there that you would probably rate like at a 4.5 that they're like, how is this movie not on the same level of that?
Yeah, you know? and I've been trying to get better about like explaining my ratings when even on Letterboxd when I review movies.
Yeah.
Like, because I realize that on the surface, there's some movies people don't like that I actually do think are better than things like Brand New Day. But that's why I try to explain why I think it works at that level. But, you know, I know a lot of people that think Drive is terrible. And so I'll admit, like, okay, yeah, if you're not into movies...
Yeah, don't talk to those people.
I mean, I know some pretty valid people that don't love it as much as I do. Like, they're kind of lower. And I'm just like, you know what? Here's the thing. If you don't like a movie that is... If you genuinely just dislike movies where a lot of the story is told through emotion and looks and just almost like a camera atmosphere language, then you're probably not going to like Drive. And that's fair. For me, that kind of filmmaking really works. And so I do connect with that movie a lot. And I really enjoy that movie a lot. So for me, that's a great movie. But if that stuff doesn't work for you, it's not going to be a great movie. And you can't appreciate it if it doesn't work for you, right? If that's something you just think is bad filmmaking, you're not going to like that. So it's all subjective at the end of the day. But I do try to really kind of reserve, especially now, like things like 4.5 for movies that I just think are great and not just good.
Yeah.
So that's all it is.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you should never really be gaslit into like not believe your own taste.
Yeah, believe your own taste.
A lot of people
buy into your own taste.
Get talk trashed too for having their certain taste and having their certain style, and then they completely change up on what they actually think a movie is in their mind. Because they're scared of critique from other people. Don't be like that.
Don't be like that.
Just have your own personal taste, man.
Yeah,
just be yourself.
Yes, there is no invalid take. You know, there really isn't. You know, we'll disagree. We might even laugh at it, but there's no invalid take. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. If it's how we feel, it's how we feel. You can't change that, and you shouldn't change that. Be yourself. Love what you love. Dislike what you dislike. Just own it. You know. And don't hate other people for not agreeing with you, you know, just at the end of the day. But it's interesting. It's fun to talk about. And I think we should argue and discuss these things because why not?
Exactly.
It's a lot of fun, right?
Why not?
So, yeah.
At the end of the day, it's night.
Agreed. Hey, Caleb, watch this.
Yep.
It's nighttime outside. Did you see how I did that?
Is it?
Boom.
Oh, it is. I just looked through the blind.
That's what
just
I'm saying,
to make
bro.
sure.
I'm low key the sun god.
Okay.
Hey, Caleb, watch this. I'm the sun god.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey, Taylor, watch this.
Yep.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.